In the cold, oppressive streets of 19th century Petersburg, we meet Raskolnikov, a former student living in poverty. Haunted by his surroundings and plagued by despair, he begins to entertain radical ideas about morality and the nature of humanity. He believes that extraordinary individuals can transcend moral laws if their actions benefit society. This belief drives Raskolnikov to devise a plan to murder Alyona Ivanovna, a cruel pawnbroker whom he views as a parasite on society. He rationalizes that by eliminating her, he can use her wealth to do good, aiding those in need, including his family and friends. As he steels himself for the act, the internal conflict within him grows, revealing his deep-seated fears and doubts. In a tense, gripping scene, Raskolnikov commits the murder. As he stands over Alyona's lifeless body, a rush of adrenaline is quickly replaced by overwhelming guilt and horror. The murder doesn't bring him the relief he anticipated. Instead, it plunges him into a state of paranoia. He becomes increasingly detached from reality, haunted by visions of the crime and tormented by the consequences of his actions. As he wanders the streets, Raskolnikov encounters Sonia, a compassionate young woman who has turned to prostitution to support her family. Despite her own suffering, Sonia exudes kindness and hope, which deeply affects Raskolnikov. He confides in her about his struggles, and through their conversations, he begins to confront his own morality and the weight of his guilt. Throughout the story, Raskolnikov's relationships with his friends and family become strained. His former friend, Razumihin, remains concerned for him, while his mother and sister worry about his well-being. The isolation Raskolnikov feels intensifies as he grapples with his conscience, torn between his intellectual justifications for murder and the reality of his actions. As the investigation into Alyona's murder unfolds, Raskolnikov becomes increasingly paranoid. He believes he is being watched and begins to spiral deeper into despair. His mental state deteriorates, leading him to contemplate suicide. In this dark moment, he realizes that he cannot escape the consequences of his actions. The turning point comes when Raskolnikov finally confesses to Sonia. Through her unwavering support and love, he begins to see the possibility of redemption. She urges him to confront his guilt and face the consequences of his crime. This relationship becomes a catalyst for his transformation, highlighting the themes of love and compassion as pathways to healing. Raskolnikov surrenders to the authorities, accepting his punishment. He goes to Siberia, where he begins to reflect on his actions and the nature of suffering. There, he starts to understand that true redemption comes from acknowledging one's faults and embracing humanity. The story concludes with a sense of hope, as Raskolnikov begins to find solace in the love of Sonia and the realization that he can change. The final scenes hint at his potential for spiritual awakening, suggesting that even the darkest souls can seek forgiveness and find their way back to humanity. Thank you for joining us on this journey through crime and punishment. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more literary summaries, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think of Raskolnikov's journey?